Welcome to When Spirits Speak with Steffanie Damboise. Steffanie has always been gifted, but it wasn't until her 20s that spirit began guiding her to her new path, being led from one piece of the puzzle to the next. Steffanie found herself moving from meditation to mediumship classes. Join her now as she connects you with spirit and past loved ones and teaches you how to tap into your own gifts as an empath, healer, and intuitive. Now your host, Steffanie Damboise.
Good evening, everybody. Hope your night's going well. Welcome to When Spirit Speaks with me, your host, Steffanie Damboise, on WSMN 1590, National Source for News and Talk. Tonight, I'm here with my friend Chris Carwellos.
What's up, Steph? Thanks for having me on the Stephanie's awesome show.
You're welcome. So Chris is a friend of mine. Chris has lots of titles. We've been chatting about titles a bunch over the week or so. So Chris is a friend. That was my first one. Chris is a waiter. He is a musician, minimalist, which we're going to probably chat about later, an inspiring writer, and an aspiring motivational speaker.
Oh, that just feels so good,
right?
To hear that and to be that.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, I got to shout it out, right? That's how you start. Write them down. Say it out loud. That's what they say. Yeah. Say it out loud. So also Chris is like part of why I got Chris on the show tonight is that he is kind of like new to listening to spirit and intuition.
Indeed I am.
And I just felt like I kind of asked spirit who I need to have on my show, and Chris popped in my head. So yeah,
several times, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, and I always tell people like, not in a weird way. It's every guest I've ever had, I'm like, not in a weird way, but I thought about you a lot.
We all preface this. This is going to seem weird, but
welcome to my life.
So,
So tell me about that, Chris. Like I said, you're just finally new to, listening to spirit, right? Or spirit,
exactly.
Intuition, like I said, God, whomever you think it is, right? So
sure.
Tell me a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Well, I mean, I've lived a life of haphazard, habit-forming, dopamine-charged sort of roller coaster journey, I guess you'd call it. Having a hard time putting these words together. And essentially, I've just opened up to consciousness recently after many years of numbing and self-deprecation, limiting beliefs. A lot of it just came down to sort of feeling, though, like I couldn't ever express myself fully, and a lot of deep, sort of dark secrets that I never wanted to share with anybody. And it just turns out that these deep, dark secrets are the things that are really starting to propel me forward. I've been mixed up with drugs and alcohol for a good portion of my life, and a lot of it was just due to recreation. I do know that there were some episodes in my life that really amplified my drug and alcohol use. And recently, I've just said goodbye to it all. I quit drinking back in August, and that was just kind of a wake-up call. There was quite a moment. There was quite a catharsis that led to that. And just recently, after, sporadic bouts with marijuana use, I'll say it live on the air, hopefully. Nobody bans me from the air for that. There was just this opening that took place recently. And I know that since we're talking on a show called When Spirit Speaks, we're dealing with people that have passed on. There were some recent losses in my life. 3 special people that were very close to me all died within about a 2 to 3 week time period. And instead of avoiding that pain, I have learned to start leaning into that pain. And it really wasn't a very easy task to go and watch people bawling their eyes out and really suffering. Getting in the midst of suffering was something I was always very scared of, right? But I eventually... And
I feel like most people are.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not alone there.
Yeah.
But I can honestly tell you one of the people that I lost recently was my aunt, and I never got down to see her while she was dying. She was diagnosed with cancer literally 2 months ago. My mom... celebrated her birthday and found out that very same day that she was diagnosed. And literally 2 months later, I'm driving down to her trailer where my mom and my other aunt was. She was the youngest of 3 sisters. And I just walked right into a huge emotional, I don't even know what the word was, but it was just this emotional energy that just took me over. I walked into this trailer and just started crying with everybody. We all just embraced, and that pain felt so deep. But there was this moment, and I remember looking right in my mom's eyes, and I'm like, Ma, I don't know what's going on, but there's this amazing blanket that's covering me, this sort of comfort. And
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from, but I
Mhm.
honestly said to myself, this is something I've never experienced before. I feel like this is the next level of awareness for me. And I
Yeah.
feel like that was where spirit was finally starting to speak. And I felt like pain can't go as far past the threshold than it did before your body starts saying, okay, now it's time to start healing. So the fact that I sort of bounced back from this as quick as I did,
Mhm.
has sort of restored my faith, if not amplified my faith in spirit. And, what that really is sort of the subconscious and things that are happening outside of the self.
Yeah, just this willingness to, I feel like, be
Exactly.
open to it all.
Yeah. And I'm still pretty speechless from the whole
Mhm.
experience, and I'm still kind of in awe. And I still have my moments of emotional output.
Oh, of course. Yeah. And, we were chatting earlier, sorry to interrupt you there,
That's fine.
about just being able to deal with life
Yeah.
sober
Yeah.
in general, because I haven't been drinking myself for like 6
Gotcha.
weeks now.
Yeah.
Sober, I feel like feels like a strong word to be
Right,
saying for
right.
myself, but it's true. Just having to deal with life, or being able to deal with life without any, substance of any sort, it's really miraculous. I'm
really
not gonna
glad.
lie.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up, because that's one thing I think I forgot to mention, is that I'm dealing with these, facing this pain, leaning into this pain without any substance.
Yeah, no, you've been doing great.
I'll actually tell you though, like after all these people like left the physical world, I still tried to self-medicate, and there was just something missing.
Mhm.
Like I think I went home that night and self-medicated and just said to myself, this is not the answer.
Mhm.
And I think that itself was pain being more of a messenger
Mhm.
than it was feeling like I was in some type of a torture chamber or something like that.
Yeah.
So there was a message that came from this pain that was even telling me, yeah, this is not the way out of the situation. You need to lean into this pain,
Mhm.
face it, just hold on to it, just like be there.
Yeah.
Someone made a good analogy. There are workers that set up telephone poles on the side of the road. And essentially what they say is, if a telephone pole is leaning one way or the other, don't move out of the way of it. What you do is you go up to it, you hold it, you embrace it. And that's the safest place you can be, even though you're in like imminent danger, and you can, if you
Mhm.
let go, that thing's going to crush you. But that analogy stuck with me, actually going into a very emotional, deep situation that's testing my emotions, and just being there and just enduring that emotional rapid fire.
Mhm.
It was amazing how quick I bounced back from it. And it's amazing how quick the self-medication became sort of obsolete and just didn't
Mhm.
seem important. It didn't seem like that was an effective way to handle these situations. And I haven't touched substances since. Caffeine, maybe, but
Yeah.
that's it. And I am dealing with some withdrawal symptoms, which kind of gets in the way of saying, oh, am I going to be able to do this or not? So yeah, I mean, I'm right now opening up. I'm really just completely open now. And I'm willing to stay open for a while.
Yeah. I mean, it's a struggle for sure. And I'm proud of you for being here. Day 40, almost day 40 or something.
Day 40. Well,
roughly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
roughly. So essentially, no, honestly, the day 40 thing, I'm going to be honest with you. I've abstained from pretty much every bit of distraction and numbness protocol that I would consider something of an escapism for me. I'm not escaping from anything anymore. I'm leaning into reality right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaning into the fact that I've been sensitive and vulnerable for so many years, and fearful of that, but now opening that up to something that's going to help me grow.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, whoa, why haven't I, it took this to make that happen, essentially.
And we were talking earlier too about really, like, when you're out or not, like even drinking, for me, it's like you're just dealing with life, and then it kind of bubbles to the surface, and you're like, why am I getting so angry when this person does this? And it's like, let's just figure that out, right? So we don't have to get angry anymore, or just like something simple like that. But I mean, I feel like that starts to happen.
Well, I think another big important thing that you mentioned right there is what is it that's influencing my thought process here, and what is it that's going to change my decision making? And a lot of times it's our feelings and emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I had to rewind. I got to go back and say, okay, I got to take these limiting beliefs. I got to flip these around. We got to go flip it on the backside and start fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've been doing is I've been basically altering my my life to a more positive mindset, which I've really had a hard time adapting over the years. And in doing so, I feel as though I'm making more positive decisions. And these are little small decisions. I mean, the decisions to quit all these substances and all that, and you know, putting a lot of my past behind me is that positive ripple effect that I was looking for. But many decisions I've made in the past were heading down that negative path, and that had created that ripple effect for me. That ripple effect is huge.
The ripple effect is
so you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about there.
My brother Scott and I make we make like the noise together when we do something like funny. If I don't know if you've watched, I don't know if they did it in The Secret. Like, have you seen? The
I haven't. You know what's
so
funny? This is a reoccurring theme with like a lot of your shows, and I remember listening to you and Alyssa. They were talking about The Secret. I haven't.
I think I bring it up in every show. I'm a very slow reader, so I like to watch documentaries or something like that. So
I'm still kind of skeptic of that, though. I don't know why. It's like you write it down.
All about positive attitude. So I feel like you have to watch it. But
now.
they do this ripple effect thing, but it makes this noise though. Nonetheless, it's like because it's literally making like the ripple effect. Anyway, so my brother and I joke about when we do something that's positive and then it makes the ripple effect, we actually make the noise. I don't know. It's cracking me up thinking about it. Maybe I'm not explaining it that well, but you have to, if anybody's seen The Secret and like seen that, like, cause they show it to you like this visual, like, you know, like you throw a stone in the pond, you know, whatever, and it makes the ripple. Like it literally does it like that. Anyway, it was way funnier in my brain.
No, it's cool. Sorry. I think that's a fundamental principle. And it's just so funny because in talking with other people, a lot of these tools and you know, spiritual disciplines that we set in place are they're linear. A lot of these are similar in some way. They all have a relation to each other. And here I am, like probably right at the plot of this. The Secret was that ripple effect, you know, and I didn't even know it. You know what I mean? Here I am. I never watched. I'm skeptic of The Secret. And meanwhile, I'm like speaking it.
Yeah, you literally are. So if you're just tuning in with us, you're listening to When Spirit Speaks on WSMN 1590, Nashua's source for news and talk radio. Tonight I'm here with my friend Chris Carwellos.
Hey.
So I really just invited Chris on tonight. He has a lot of titles that we really we're going to get to. But really just because I feel like Chris is just starting to wake up to listening to spirit and going this route. And it's really beautiful. And I feel like and I always actually talk about how I met people. So I literally met Chris,
month and a half
month
ago?
and something? I don't even remember. December?
Yeah, it was December.
Was it December? I couldn't even remember what month. So anyway, I meet Chris out.
Maybe it was January. No, it was December.
I think it was December. That's okay. No. I met Chris and it was just one of those, like we've talked a lot about like the soul attraction, and it's nice to be able to speak like out loud, I guess. With a man. I keep talking about like, you know, with the opposite sex about like this soul attraction. Like we just knew we had this attraction to each other, and we just kept chatting up. I was like, literally like 20 minutes in, we were like, all right, there's something with this. And then we just kept chatting. And then like a couple weeks ago, I was like, yo, want to be on my show? And then just like, I don't know why, I just make friends with people. Awesome. I mean, I guess I know why, right? When Spirit Speaks.
Yeah. Yeah, I am I'm almost as skeptic as I was, somehow like just trusting in your guide. And, you know, I think that somehow brought us together in a way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And the people on Facebook are asking about the Secret. Thank you, Jessica, for answering them. The Secret is a documentary. You can watch it on Netflix. It's by like Rhonda Byrne. Jen is asking, Jennifer Giles. I think it's Byrne.
Okay.
And it's just, like I said, I watched the documentary on Netflix, and then I think you can probably even find it on YouTube, or if you like to actually read, there is a book. So, but The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Sure. It was really life-changing. I actually watched it, and this was one of my things. I watched it probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's your mind shift. It took you know, and I try to explain to people, like, I didn't just get here overnight, you know, like I was in a really bad spot at a job that I did not enjoy. And I listened to that, and I was probably like you, even though you're already practicing it. So I wasn't even like you. I was a horrible, negative person. And it really it changed my mindset. And it took me though, I mean, now I can really manifest positive things, you know, but It took me a very long time to get here. So it's super cool. I know I bring it up a lot. So I actually stopped telling people because they looked at me like I was crazy for a long time. But now I'm just like, no, I'm going to tell everyone again.
Well, it sounds like the secret is really essentially like a development of small disciplines that you create and new habits that you're forming to sort of recreate a new and more positive mindset.
Most definitely.
And I haven't really reached out and tried to find a source of that other than listening to podcasts and kind of getting on other people's levels that have experienced a lot more pain and things like that. So there are some people I've been listening to. There's definitely been a lot of inspiring people that I've talked to, on this path that, I've sort of, I owe them my gratitude as well, but, it never really expressed until now. I should go back and just like offer my gratitude to all the folks that have ever given me that positive push, even in my lowest.
I'm telling you,
my lowest,
I actually, and it sounds, but I feel like at this point, nobody thinks I'm crazy. Now I take that back. Most people probably said me, but I literally have been calling people. I went on a date with this one guy. We chatted for like a month. I feel like we had a solid soul connection, and I think that he knew it too, and that's totally cool. And I literally actually called him the other day and was just like, thank you.
Wow.
Like, thank you for our soul meeting. Thank you for teaching me this. Thank you for teaching me that. And that's exactly what I've been doing. I've been like reaching out to everyone. It's odd, right? Totally normal for me that you said that. And I met up with a friend, my friend Maya, the other day, and we chatted. And I actually, same thing. I was like, because she was one of the first people that like believed in me and like was like, hey, let's do this event together. Right. And I literally just thanked her for seeing that in me, and I was like almost tearing up, so that's exactly where I'm at. I just keep like reaching out to anybody who I've learned something from. As crazy as they think that I might be by sending that message, I'm okay with it.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. It's funny too, Alyssa, who, has her show, The Accidental Shaman. When I met her, we had this like explosive intro and everything. And I think for some reason, she just looked inside of me and she just saw so much that I don't think I'd ever let anybody else see, other than like maybe my mom or whatever, who I was closed off to as well with a lot of these secrets and stuff. But there was just some kind of thing that she knew. And she said, I don't know what it is. Or maybe it was like under the impression, I don't know what it is, but it's there. You know what I mean? And, for some reason that maybe pushed me into a self-conscious sort of mind state. So, I feel like, there's a lot of people that will say, Chris, you got this gift or you've got this thing about you, but I was always doubting it. You know what I mean? And then finally, like when I start opening up and looking inside, I'm like, wow, maybe there is something here that I can really like pull layers back and start really finding the beauty in.
Yeah, no, seriously. And then it kind of, as you're talking about that, it makes me like think about, like my friends from high school and my friends from like just that I've had for a while. Like I swear to God, they knew I had this far before I did. Like I remember talking to one of my friends from high school and then saying something about, and then she was just like, oh no, if I needed a question answered, I would just ask you. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what? You would ask me the question? Like you would ask me? Like, why didn't anybody tell me that that they did that?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
sure. Absolutely.
But my Facebook people are just so cute helping each other out. I love you guys.
It's great.
Like they're all like Jessica.
You're on that end of things.
Yeah, I know. I can see it all. Kimmy, love you too, girl. She said I've always been awesome.
That's awesome.
I try to keep good people in my life. So again, if you're just tuning in, you are listening to When Spirit Speaks with your host, me, Steffanie Damboise, on WSMN 1590, Nashua's source for news and talk radio. And tonight I have my friend Chris Carwellos with me.
What's up, Steph?
Hey. So Chris has a lot of titles. I don't know how we haven't got to titles yet, but we'll get there. What time? Chris is, he's a waiter, musician, minimalist, an aspiring writer, and an aspiring motivational speaker.
That sounds so great. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But it's true.
I as well would like to be a motivational speaker. Right. So, and we both have, we were both talking about like children potentially and, helping, the youth. The youths. Yeah, the whole children thing. I just haven't found a woman that I've connected with in order to have that wonderful, special, connection to have a child or to have the confidence to have a child. I feel like I'm still growing myself, at 41 years old. And that's another thing to mention. I'm 41 and I'm just opening up. Yeah. I've spent many years sort of in my little cocoon, as you want to call it. And in doing so, I think that negative paradigm that I created as far as,
not able to set goals and complete them, or feeling inadequate in relationships, or, not having even the amount of dopamine in my reserves to feel confident to go out and enjoy a nice hike, or activities, or going to a networking event or anything like that. I'd rather just sit home and numb.
Yeah.
And just distract and have these pacifiers.
And I feel like you're not the only one, obviously.
Oh, not at all.
Like not
at
even
all.
close to the only. And I feel like that's why I thought to have you on.
Absolutely.
It's like you're like, I'm gonna say the real deal, but you're the real deal. It's like, this is life, people,
Definitely.
Like,
I feel as though with all those pacifiers in place, one will never know their true colors. One will never know their true form or their true spirit if you have distractions around you. And that is what led me into the minimalism practice.
Yeah.
I remember just clicking around on YouTube one day, and I came across a couple of TED Talks, and these guys, the Minimalists, they did a TED Talk about losing people in their life. This guy lost his mom to cancer and flew down to take care of her estate, and just noticed that there was just stuff everywhere. I mean, she lived in South Beach, Florida, and she had like 8 fur coats in her closet.
Yes.
Things like that.
Yeah.
And it makes you realize, like, you're holding on to this stuff. You have all these connections to things, material. And what I found is getting rid of all that excess stuff and shaving everything down, you are left with your emotions. You're left with yourself. You are left to create a clearer picture of what your core values are. And for me, that was pretty scary, because a lot of these core values were things that I had left unattended, such as health, relationships, growth. I wasn't contributing as much. I feel as though I was just existing in society.
Yeah.
And there was definitely a loss of passion and creativity in that as well. And basically writing those things down and looking at them after everything was cleared out in this empty space really allowed me to form a very intimate connection with these values. And it also allowed me to say, okay, what are my secondary values, which in this case would be things like music and art and other things like that. And I feel like we all have those secondary values. You don't necessarily need music in your life. You don't need popcorn. You don't need Doritos.
Yeah,
you don't need things like that. But you need things like health, relationships, growth. You need to have things like passion. You need to contribute to society. And in order to contribute, I had to let go of all this stuff. And now I feel like the only thing I can give is me. I don't want to let anything into my life unless it adds value. Yeah. And I think even with the recent deaths that I've experienced, that also was a big awareness, a rather awakening that added value to my life.
Of course, because I feel like for me, you realize like, gosh, I am so lucky that I woke up today. Yeah. Gosh, I'm so lucky that
gratitude. I got that tattooed on my arm about 10 years ago. Yeah. And that was almost like my future self saying,
right?
Saying,
I was like,
wow,
I did not
on your arm.
Did not think that you would say that.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago. I was living in Austin, Texas, and I had a blackout that led me to kick in my window and climb through my broken glass window and cut my leg wide open and make my way to my bed and wake up in the morning and look at this big trail of blood from my window and say, hey, that's something I did, I guess. So that was a huge eye opener for me.
Yeah. And then it kind of back a little bit, back a few minutes, but like your minimalism that you're talking about?
Yeah,
no, that's okay. All right, so we're going to take a break in a little bit, actually, but I will be doing live call-ins when we come back from the break. So if anybody would like to call in now for a live medium reading, you are more than welcome. It is 603-816-1590. I almost gave you my cell phone number to call. That's where my brain is going. So 603-816-1590 is the phone number to call. Get some live readings going. All right, we'll see you guys in a few minutes.
How was your day? What did you do in school? I'm Scott McGilvery, president of the National Education Association, New Hampshire. And these 2 simple questions can encourage learning in your home. Showing interest and asking about the school day can help motivate your children and keep them excited about learning. So stay involved, stay curious, and ask specific questions. Student success involves the whole family. Be sure to take the opportunity during daily conversations to talk with their children about what they're learning. help set academic goals, and discuss a plan of action to meet those goals. Whether it's improving on weekly spelling tests or allowing enough time to eat breakfast every day before school, every small step taken helps build momentum to academic success. Working together, parents and teachers in New Hampshire can make this a great school year for every student.
A message from NEA New Hampshire.
Title Boxing Club is the best and only authentic full-body boxing workout that changes your body, clears your mind, and completely engages your spirit. Our signature workout utilizes the fundamentals of a true boxer's workout, including proper heavy bag training to strengthen and tone your arms, legs, back, core, stamina, and your confidence. Empowering, exhilarating, and totally addictive. This is your new favorite workout class. Visit them online at titleboxingclub.com or call 603-206-5608. That's 206-5608 and begin today.
Baseball legend Henry Aaron reflects on his Hall of Fame legacy.
I think that since I played for the public, they need to share what I did in my life as far as baseball. It's the proudest moment of my life to give everything to the Hall of Fame. I often tell people they need to get and see it. There is no other building in the world like the Hall of Fame in baseball.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the legacy. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Paralyzed Veterans of America, National Service Officers.
We've got an entire generation of men and women who have seen war. They're going to need voices. They're going to need advocates.
Paralyzed Veterans of America is here to help.
We're going to make sure that the Veterans Affairs gives them everything that they're entitled to.
Get all the health care they need.
Making a person's house adaptable for them to go back home and live.
Education benefits.
And we also focus on getting them a job.
And if something happens to the veteran, then, we're the spouse's advocate.
We help our veterans for free.
The way that Paralyzed Veterans of America does that is through their National Service Officers that are located throughout the United States.
Our work is important because people depend on us.
And they know when they come to Paralyzed Veterans of America, they're going to get the right answer. And they know that we are there for them 24/7. Because we are.
Changing lives, building futures. That's Paralyzed Veterans of America. To learn more, visit pva.org. A public service message from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Type 2 diabetes is a serious chronic health threat in America. It affects tens of millions of people. Many people who have the disease don't know it. Diabetes can cause health problems such as heart disease, strokes, amputations, and blindness. Talk to your doctor, get screened if you're at risk, and learn how to avoid becoming one of the millions of new cases of diabetes each year. You can help prevent type 2 diabetes. A message from CDC and HHS.
Hi guys, welcome back. So you are listening to When Spirit Speaks with your host, me, Steffanie Damboise Psychic Medium on WSMN 1590, Nashua's source for news and talk radio. And I'm here tonight with my friend Chris Carwellos.
It's an honor to be here, Steph. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're so welcome. So we actually do have a caller right now. Hi, Jennifer?
Yes.
Hi. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jennifer from New Hampshire, right?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So, Jen, I'm just going to put you on like a musical hold for a second while I kind of call your family in, okay?
That sounds good.
All right, one sec. Okay. All right. Jen, are you ready?
I am.
All right. So I always tell people to write stuff down. I don't know if you want to do that or not. So I have this gentleman for you. Okay. He is he was all over the place with his age. So he started at 70 and then said 60 and then said 50. So usually when they do that to me, they just acted much younger than their actual age. And since he gave me 2 decades, I'm going to say that he actually like much younger than his actual age, because typically they only give me like one, 70 or 60 when it's like when they act younger. So and then he is I feel like he's a super fun guy. And then we had the guitar playing this time, not randomly, but randomly. So I actually feel like that was kind of part of it. He's telling me that he is a musician. He liked to play the guitar.
Okay.
So, and then I think so I keep hearing lung with him. It's not, so we usually, when I hear lung, it just means that they were a smoker, not so much that they actually like passed away from the lung or anything like that. Although it could mean both, but.
Okay.
Is this making any sense to you so far?
Some of the things are, yes.
Okay.
The smoking is interesting.
That's okay. If I can ask, I hate when they tell me things and people don't know. As I ask, I still see like an ashtray and like a cigarette in it, like it's just sitting there, like somebody put it there to hold. I almost like see him putting it down so he can play the guitar. So I'm not sure if this was something he just did for a little while, the smoking, but it definitely, this guy is or was a smoker at some point.
Okay.
I did hear the name Peter earlier. So like a man with a P name or a last name that starts with a P.
Peter.
Peter?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Even better. So, all right. So he's like, let me see what he's saying to me here. I feel like he's being funny about this one, but he's showing me like frogs. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, he was a scientist.
Okay, perfect. Like, but I feel like he's like, maybe I felt like there was some humor behind it. I mean, you did laugh, so I guess it's funny, but
You did have a great sense of humor.
okay, I felt like he was just like he knew that would make you laugh, so he was like, I'm gonna say something funny. He's also showing me a clock, but I feel like it's like almost like a grandfather clock or something like that. Or a larger clock. It's not like a wristwatch or a pocket watch or something like that. It just looks like it's larger, if that makes any sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is going to sound a little funny, but he's telling me like so when spirit usually like sits on my lap, which I know sounds weird, usually just means that they like the children would sit on their lap or something like that. Like they were I don't want to say this feminine side to him, but I feel like just loving, caring, like the people would actually, kids, I don't know. Just like, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And it's kind of beautiful because I haven't felt that with a man before. Maybe it's because Chris is here with me. And I'm kind of like spinning in my chair a little bit, but I kind of feel like he's like, I don't know if he rocked while he did that, but I kind of feel like I want to rock back and forth, like in a rocker, as opposed to like spinning in my chair right now. But I feel like that's where he did a lot of this holding, I guess, of children or something, or just. And then he's showing me like little like candy canes, like the miniature ones. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Christmas was always very special between us.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like almost like he's placing them like all around the house is what I see. Okay. I'm not sure if he's trying to be like, I'm going to let you interpret that. I try not to interpret what I'm seeing for people, but
okay.
One sec, Jen. I'm just. So I'm just trying to ask him for a message for you, Jen, and he's like, he just kind of keeps bringing me to this like yellow flower. I'm trying to tell you what kind of flower it is. It's just not working. I feel like it's more like you need to bring a little like sunshine into your life, like, or walk toward the sun, or, toward this yellow happy ness. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And I feel like how he's showing it to me is like, like the straight path to this flower is not the way you need to go. You need to actually walk around like the obstacle in front of you or something to that effect. Like I see two paths to this flower, and they're both like one's like left or one's right, but it's like in this circular, like they meet back up at the flower. I don't know if that's a double thing for you, but that's how he's showing it to me. Like I'm trying to ask why he's showing it to me that way, but like, I just kind of feel it like, if you feel like you're not on the right path, like you feel like you're going like left or right or something to that effect, like just know that you're still on the right path. Like he's leading you to this like happy place or this sunshine or this flower, this yellow flower. Does that make sense at all for you?
It does.
Okay.
Actually, it makes perfect sense.
Oh, perfect. Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
You too.
Thank you. All right, guys. So welcome back. Thank you for Jennifer. I love getting people's loved ones. So was that okay for you, Chris?
That was powerful.
Yeah, Chris is a little skeptical of my gift, which is cool. I like it.
I'm owning that skepticism.
Yeah.
I am feeling something creeping in.
Yeah, Chris. So we're still taking calls, or we as in me, and Joey behind the scenes there. 603-816-1590. If you'd like a free medium reading, feel free to call until the break at 9. Oh, one of the phone's going. So yeah, was that creepy for you? Cool.
Yeah, it was creepy.
Creepy.
Yeah.
I like I knew you'd be real. So
yeah, I'm real as ever right now. I'm vibrating with some sense of awareness right now that I don't think I felt before.
Mhm.
Presence, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's beautiful. I like it. I feel like when I'm sometimes, and not that like, I mean, I am awesome, but like when, I'm just kidding. Like I joke about that a lot of people say I shouldn't.
Sure.
I just try to, that's like, I told you this, just the vibe I try to give out, like
Sure.
just this positive, loving energy.
Sure.
And I feel like obviously when I'm doing my thing, I try to like amp it out to people.
Yeah, I have a question for you though.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at me,
Yeah.
is there a significance behind that?
No.
I wasn't sure because I know that sometimes you draw through.
Oh, I was joking because you're the musician, and then this man played the guitar. Like not
gotcha.
joking, but like that's like I love spirit for that sort of thing.
I wasn't sure if like something was coming through me or.
No, I was kind of just staring
kind of
past you in all reality, but like just kind of looking. Yeah.
Just
It
picking up
sounds
on body
horrible.
language.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just but like this guy, it was just ironic. Like I said, something that because this is like the gentle man, like we were talking about estrogen,
Exactly.
and you're like not in a bad way, but
Sure.
it just all kind of ties together. Like it's just crazily beautiful to me.
Mhm.
All right, we do have another caller on the line. Hi, Dina. Hi, Dina. Thanks so much for calling.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dina's from Kentucky.
Yes.
Awesome. I love it. Cool, Dina. So I'm going to put you on like a little musical hold for a second, okay?
Okay.
Okay, one sec. All right, Dina. So, do you have a pen and paper out as well, Dina?
I do.
Okay, perfect. So I just like people to write stuff down because it's like deer in the headlights when I'm talking to people sometimes. So they just,
Right.
Even when I get readings, it's kind of like that. So Dina, I have a woman for you. Okay. She is kind of the same kind of thing as the last call. I feel like I heard 50s and I heard 60s. So nonetheless around that, I feel like she probably acted same sort of thing, acted a little younger than her actual age. She though is making my heart pound a lot, like the very moment she jumped in. So I feel like, I guess that's something that I'm working on, but I feel like it's a lot of like anxiety, but I feel like she's just running around like crazy, doing a bunch of stuff. But then I feel like ultimately it was kind of what, I don't want to say what killed her, but like what did, like what, I don't know. Am I saying this properly for you?
You're fine.
Does it make any sense to you? Okay. I just feel like it's really straining on my heart. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's how I'm trying to I get a lot of information and I try to speak Sometimes it doesn't work. So I know you are a D name, obviously, Dina, but I keep hearing a D name with this woman as well. So it's either her first name or a last name that starts with the D.
Okay.
And then sometimes if it's not the person I have, it's just somebody, could be somebody living that, because she's like connecting you to or not, but, and I didn't actually hear a man or a woman's name with that D, so it could be a man as well.
Okay.
So I just keep like my skin is like crawling. I feel like it's like some sort of like neurological, like, I don't know. I just like, that's never happened to me before actually while I've been giving a reading. I just feel like it's like my skin is like on my chest and my shoulders and stuff is just like, I don't know, crawling or like extra jittery or something.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to move past that because I'm like, okay, please stop doing that.
Got that message. Stop now.
Okay, I know, perfect. I'm like, thank you. I'm like, okay. So
no, I'm saying you're saying it to her.
yeah,
Stop.
no, exactly. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, I'm like, you can please step back now. So she's like tapping on my shoulder, right? So she's just like, no, like, she's trying to get my attention, you know, like, okay, no. And I felt it at first as like a funny, like, haha, like she was tapping on one and jumping to the other. But then it was more like, oh, no, like, I want your attention right now, sort of thing. Like in this, like, I want to say bossy, but not in a completely negative way by any means. Just like, nope. All right here. Like, listen up, ma'am, kind of thing. Like, that's what I keep getting from her. And I feel it in this like teacher sort of way. Like I kind of see her like pointing her finger. So I'm not sure if she actually was a teacher or just like I see one hand on her hip and she's just like tissing, you know, like, or, you know, like with her finger pointed out. Does that, okay. Does that make it? Like, that's how she's showing herself. She is referencing horses. I kind of feel like it's like a figurine or something though. Like a statue maybe. It's like a horse and it's on its hind legs. That's how I'm seeing it. I keep asking her what that means. I just can't tell if it's like huge or little, you know, like if it fits in your hand or, you know, if it's like literally in the middle of an intersection, you know, like on, I'm just asking her and I'm not getting any. I'll get back to that. Okay. So she's mentioning the number 8. So when I get numbers, it is literally if the number 8 was significant to her or the month of August. So birthdays, death days, anniversaries, hers or yours or somebody that is important. She is showing me an umbrella as well. So when I get umbrella, it usually just means that it was raining on her funeral day. I'm not sure if you remember that day or not. Or windy, maybe. Sometimes it's just really windy. I don't know. Umbrella seems weird for that. But the weather was weird, I guess, is how I'm going to say that for her funeral. And then I kind of said, as I said funeral, she kind of brought me to like, I kept seeing or hearing like that, the wrong flowers or something, or like different flowers, or they smelled weird or something. Does that make any sense to you?
I don't know. I have to think on that one.
Okay. I feel like they were like the wrong color or something. Like she's kind of just saying like she didn't actually care, but like it was beautiful either way. But it's like, I don't know. I just feel like I think she's just letting you know like she was like there, like she noticed, or just if people were talking about it. That's what I keep asking her. Like she's showing me like, I just see a bunch of different flowers, honey. That's what I hear from it.
And this is at her funeral?
Oh, it might be somebody else's, but.
Because like everything's connecting to my son's funeral.
Okay. Did you have problems with the flowers there?
We did.
Okay.
And he died in August.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, and it was sleeting.
Perfect.
Which is weird.
Okay. Okay. So then, yeah. So I'm getting like crazy chills when people say that to me. So that's perfect. So she is just validating all that for you, that she was there then for all that stuff.
Okay.
And still on the note, like, I don't know if she would have said this while she was here, like, that is fine. The flowers are fine. Like, you know, like, you know, like nobody, I don't want to say nobody cares about the flowers, but you know, like that's how I'm hearing it from her, you know, like it's okay. It's just the flowers, you know?
Exactly. Because I was very stressed.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming everyone was stressed. That's why she's just like, no, everybody, like, that's what I'm getting from it. So, okay, perfect. And that's what I always tell people. I'm like, it's a puzzle, and I'm just going to give you a bunch of pieces to what she's telling me. Do you? So I'm seeing. I try not to. So I'm seeing like a you know, like one of those like razor scooters. You know what I'm talking about? And it's kind of the same, almost, I don't want to say almost like the horse thing, but I feel like it's like memorialized or something like this. Like, not that it's a statue, but I feel like, you know, just a super important thing. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, kind of.
Like, I keep asking her why she's showing it. Like, I don't know if she tried to actually ride it one time or something, you know, something to that effect, like, or if there's just some funny story with it, but I feel like it's just an important memory or important something that she's trying to, I almost feel like it's a memory that she's trying to like pull to your forefront, like one you might not have thought about in a while or something like that.
Yeah.
But she's just like she wants you to think about it.
Yes.
Because I feel like the way she's saying it to me, I feel like it'll actually be every like bit of emotion that you have, as opposed like laughter as well as you know, as well as sadness and frustration and everything else. But she's like, that's like and I feel like that's kind of part of her message for you today. That's the one that you need to, and I don't want to use the words deal with in a bad way, but just like I said, bring to the forefront and just really like contemplate or sit on, or, you know, like really just, what's a good word? I hate saying deal with because that sounds so horrible. I don't know, just think about works, but and I feel like she has some like picture involved with this like the scooter or something to that effect. Like if you could, if you could open up like a box of pictures and you could pull out this thing, which would make you like laugh and probably cry and does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. She's just like that's what you need to do as well. I don't know if you haven't opened this box up in a while or anything like that, but
actually this would be my ex-mother-in-law. Okay. I haven't even divulged into those kind of memories, but we do have a picture of her trying to ride one of my son's scooter and actually broke her wrist.
Oh my gosh. Perfect. So. Yeah. I know. I always
we have it on video.
Oh my gosh. Perfect. I think that, and I always tell people, I'm like, I'm sorry if your in-laws come in, like your ex, you know, something like that. It just, so whoever jumps in. Perfect. One sec. I'm just trying to. I'm asking her if she has like another message. I still feel like this like box of pictures or something. I'm not sure if you will like be like mending from it if you're, and that's the word I just heard, like mending, if you opened it and you went through it. You know, I still feel like that's really part of her message for you, like in that sense. But and then she keeps referencing like a rainbow. And I keep asking her why she's showing me a rainbow, like for your okay, so now she's showing me the rainbow and that like horse again, in which case it could be a unicorn. I know that sounds a little crazy, but I don't know what doesn't sound crazy. I feel like at this point.
Yeah.
But I'm only saying that because I have like my nieces are all into unicorns, right? And I have like a unicorn t-shirt that has a rainbow on it as well. So that's what I'm thinking of now that I'm saying this, because I thought it was a horse before. So I feel it in a way that she's just like, okay, like have a little more fun. Like the unicorn's like, I don't know, not crazy, but like crazy fun, right? Like throwing glitter up in the air and everything and stuff. Like that's what I'm seeing. Like just have a little rainbow, you know, get some more fun in your life, you know, sort of thing.
I can hear that from her.
Okay. That's how I keep like, so maybe that the horse thing, like we'll just go back to that. It was a unicorn, but if you figure out that it means something else too, but go with that. But anyway, but thank you, Dina. I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Yeah. So sweet. How was that one for you?
You know, it's I'm approaching this from complete open mind, and I find this all so beautiful.
And not that I'm here to like impress you by any means.
No,
like I don't
not
mean
at
that in a
all.
weird way, but I'm just like, I know that you're like still like I know some of my people like listening to me are still skeptic. And again, I don't need to change, like, you know, make everybody believe me.
Sure.
They'll all kind of come around on their own time. But my mom just joined. Hi, Mom, on Facebook. Sorry.
My mom might be listening.
Ooh,
too.
I
She
hope
might
her-
be on her little AM radio headphone.
Nice. Hi, Mom.
Comfy chair, knitting a hat or something.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. So like I said, I just thought I knew I could check in with you and see how you're feeling over there. Cause it's a lot of energy and it's a lot of, I don't know. It's just a lot. I know.
So I've been doing a lot of meditating recently, and they've been shorter stints. And the energy that I've been opening to and finding myself responding to is very similar to the energy that I'm feeling right now. And I'm trying to meditate as I sit here and feel your energy, and it's wild.
Yeah. Well, cool. I will take that as a
I'm
compliment.
like, how is this all happening? How is this all possible? You know, it's just, to me, it's, I like the sense of mystery and wonder about it. And I just say, hey, some people just got something that I don't, and I'm willing to accept that. And I got my own thing, you know?
Yeah, no. And I just,
and not trying to fight a sense of familiarity to it.
Yes.
Or about it.
Like I feel, I know I stop saying. Yeah, I have done that a lot. I feel like this is my gift for sure, right? And I'm working on it, and I'm taking the time to do things that help it. But like, I'm a super slow reader, or I'm a this, or I'm a that. It's like everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, right?
Absolutely. And that's what I've found is a huge practice, or very important in the practice of opening to spirit, is exactly that. And I believe as well that over the course of time, there may be an instance where it'll just be right there in front of me, and I'd be like, oh, now it all makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like daily I have like, oh, no way. I mean, and then just super cool things. Like first time I've had a guy as my guest, and then that like Joey randomly picks like a guitar thing, which is totally cool. And then my first guy, I'm like, oh, I could see him playing that guitar. Like I love music first of all, but I love seeing music, like, and hearing music when I'm connecting to spirit. Like I just love it all.
Yeah. So I have this thing where I have these audible hallucinations a lot. I hear music in my head all the time. And I know a lot of people have that, but I think for me, it's like this, almost like I'm going to go insane. Why is this in my head as much as it is? But I think I'm now learning to form it into a craft. I've been able to make music without having any formal training based on this like energy in my head. And I feel like I haven't really harnessed that gift as much in a more meaningful sense. I have used it in the past as far as music production. I was in a hip hop band for years. I've always been the one making the beats, doing the scratching on the beats and stuff like that. And I feel like there's a flow state involved with that definitely is delivered by this magic that's going on in my head. I mean, even back to when I was like 5 or 6, I'd have this little tape recorder and I'd be making these like songs. And I've always been like just drawn to making music.
Yeah.
And I feel like there is definitely a message there that I almost feel like now Spirit's telling me that this needs to be reintroduced to your life again in a more meaningful way.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, and then even as you're speaking to me, Chris, and I know like I've been like, oh, I'm not supposed to be reading you. But I feel like it's like, I mean, I kept hearing like Beethoven in my head, like the actual, like the word. So like just how he maybe had those inspired thoughts and just wrote that stuff, you know, write it down.
I totally relate to Beethoven and all that crazy mind.
I'm loving everyone's love on Facebook. Thank you so much, Lacey and Holly and Maya, and I don't even remember who's else, but yeah, so we are going to go to a break in a little bit here, and then we'll come back and I will be pulling some cards for all of you guys. Yes, thanks Diane, thanks Maya on Facebook. All this, everybody's so sweet. Gigi.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, say hi, Mom. Anyway, we'll be back after the break, guys. Thanks so much for listening.
listening to 1590 WSMN Nashua.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
President Trump is set to deliver a Make America Great Again rally, this one being held in El Paso, Texas at just after 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Folks are already beginning to line up to see President Trump, including this resident who told KFOX, a local Fox affiliate down in El Paso, why she's excited to see the president come to El Paso.
Mostly I want to show him my support. We're not all, against him, that we are for him.
Virginia Democrats are backing off plans to introduce articles of impeachment against Lieutenant Democratic Governor Justin Fairfax. Virginia NAACP Executive Committee member Phil Thompson believes Fairfax should be heard and wants an independent investigator to investigate the allegations.
For him to have to go to an impeachment hearing in front of a body that has pretty much called for him to resign seems a little bit of a kangaroo court, and that we don't think that's a fair outcome.
You're listening to USA Radio News.
Question: do you have a health insurance plan you are not happy with? Well, Bethany and Jason thought they were stuck. Their plan just kept getting more expensive, and Bethany's favorite doctor didn't even take that plan anymore. And then some friends at church told them about MediShare.
With our previous insurance, we were paying $1,200 a month. With MediShare, we now pay around $600 a month.
Yes, they're paying $600 less per month, and that's a pretty typical savings with MediShare. And they actually like MediShare more.
I was able to go back to my original doctor that I absolutely loved, and it's just been an absolutely beautiful thing being a part of MediShare.
Yeah, so they pay a lot less and they like it more. No wonder MediShare is growing so fast. Find out more. They're super easy to talk to. All you have to do is call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
The man accused of killing 11 people and injuring several others in a Pittsburgh synagogue is facing new charges. Here's USA Radio Network's Chris Barnes.
In federal court on Monday morning, Robert Bowers was facing an additional 19 federal charges, including discharging a firearm, hate crimes, and obstruction of free exercise. He pled not guilty. Those charges are in addition to the 4 Bowers pled not guilty to back in November. He has requested a jury trial. Bowers accused of shooting during morning services at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh's Squirrel Hill neighborhood on October 27th.
It's the snowiest February in 70 years in Seattle, Washington, and they're only 11 days into the month. Seattle resident Pat Andrews says the city's doing what they can to keep the streets clean.
Limited number of snow plows and everything like that. They're trying to do what they can. It's just been very tough for them to keep up completely.
And you're listening to USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines. 800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
The first tax season with President Donald Trump's new tax plan is underway, and many folks are a little bit surprised that they're receiving about 8% less in their return than what they did in years past. But according to CPA Paul Schwartz, that's actually a good thing.
My belief is that you really don't want to get big refunds. You want to make sure that your exemptions that you claim at work are just enough to cover you for your tax, but not to create a big refund. We feel that big refunds are basically allowing the government to hold on to your money, and when they pay you, they don't pay you a dime of interest. So we try to discourage people from getting big refunds. Unfortunately, sometimes people really count on that big refund, and I certainly try to educate my clients to not count on the big refund and have the money all year in their pockets and do the right things with it. But certainly you want to gather your receipts as best you can, and also make sure that you've done your best to contribute to a retirement plan, either an IRA, traditional IRA, Roth IRA, or perhaps your 401k plan at work. Those are really the best things that you can do at this point.
And finally, coming soon to a McDonald's menu near you, donut sticks. They will be appearing nationwide at McDonald's across the country starting February 20th. For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chris Carwellos. Here's my forecast for southern New Hampshire. We are under a winter storm watch for tomorrow and tomorrow night, but overnight, we're talking partly cloudy and cold weather. Temps down 10 to 15 above zero. Bundle up. Tomorrow, quickly clouding over. Snow will break out by late afternoon. It should be an issue for the afternoon commute with temperatures in the upper 20s. Snow heavy at times tomorrow night. Could mix with sleet and freezing rain. But before that happens, we're looking for a total snow accumulation of 6 to 12 inches. The storm was done by early Wednesday morning, followed by variable clouds and windy weather. Temperatures in the mid-30s. We might have to deal with another storm late in the week. Certainly stay tuned. Computer models keep changing their mind. I'm Mark Rosenthal reporting for WSMN 1590 and WLMW 90.7 in Manchester.
It's 26 degrees.
It's 9:06.
Welcome to When Spirits Speak with Steffanie Damboise. Steffanie has always been gifted, but it wasn't until her 20s that Spirit began guiding her to her new path, being led from one piece of the puzzle to the next. Steffanie found herself moving from meditation to mediumship classes. Join her now as she connects you with spirit and past loved ones and teaches you how to tap into your own gifts as an empath, healer, and intuitive. Now your host, Steffanie Damboise.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. You are listening to me, your host, Steffanie Damboise Psychic Medium, on When Spirit Speaks on WSMN 1590, Nashua's source for news and talk radio. And I'm here tonight with my friend Chris Carwellos.
Hey, Steph. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, man. Thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure.
We've been chatting about some good stuff tonight.
For sure.
Minimalist. What else have we been talking about? Just
music,
spirit, when spirit speaks.
Yes.
How you're new to following spirit.
You know, it's always been in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I think a long time ago, I was dealing with the death of my my grandmother, Granny, and something happened there where I just opened up, and I was mentioning that to a friend at a party when I was living in Boston, and I was telling him I was dealing with death or just I don't know, I'm sort of like lost or whatever. And this guy handed me the I Ching, which was sort of a derivative of the Tao Te Ching, which is a Taoist principle, sort of the book of changes, if you will.
I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but
That's
continue on, please.
Yeah, Taoism essentially is this pre-Buddhist discipline, which can be misconstrued as religion, or actually it did become a religion for a while. But essentially, Confucius was a teacher during that time, and he taught about the elements and how much the elements were tied into living a meaningful and simple life and being happy. And it's a very complex structure, and there's a huge pattern involved. You know how they have like that microcosmic pattern or whatever the patterns are. Everything kind of forms this mathematical symbol. And the system of elements really kind of helped me sort of say, hey, there is something beyond the physical world that people are really tuning into to live this life in a much more meaningful and simple way. And it's always been teasing me since that time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I know it has, but I feel like you have to come to that moment when you're just like, all right,
I think
now it's time to listen.
Indeed. And I think my positivity and my ostensible positivity, which, you know, inside sort of is sort of a, you know, distraction based sort of mentality that I have is still very much on the positive level, based on the fact that there is something out there that I can draw from when I need it. But it was always so distant, and now I just feel like the fact that I've opened up, it's like right there.
Yeah,
like, here it is. It's almost like it's almost like just pouring in.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I feel like that happens a lot with people, but
I have a hard time putting this into words sometimes because it's still also new to me. So I'm learning along with everybody else, I'm sure.
I fully understand.
Yeah.
That. So if you have listened to me before, usually every week I've been pulling some cards for all of you, so a little guidance for the week. So I have cards numbers 1, 2, and 3. So everybody can pick your card number. And I already picked them, so while Chris was chatting. So I'm going to go over them now, so give you all a little guidance. So I feel like I get this card all the time. So the first card is the Power card. I don't know if anybody can see it from where you are up there, but the Power card is just reminding you guys that you have the power to do whatever you want in this life. Make it happen. I just keep make it rain. That's what I just heard.
Make it rain.
Yeah, you have the power to go out there and get it.
Go splash.
It's like, and it's different for everyone, but I feel like this is a super powerful card right now for everyone. Like big chances, big jumps, and then even as I say that, maybe a really little jump or shift or something could end up butterfly effect, could ripple effect, could end up being a huge one. So even if taking a little one feels like it might be really huge to you, then just still do it. Like it's still, this card's just reminding you have the power to make that happen. So get out there and get it. Number 2, Jessica, I heard on Facebook, she said 2, please, is the playfulness card. I feel like we've gotten a lot of the same cards, but playfulness is, reminding you to kind of like to literally be more playful. So go do things that like fill your heart with joy and I want to say hilariousness, just so much fun. And I always talk about, growing up, we didn't have, like crazy stuff like we do now, right? Like, so it's like sliding down the slide was like hardcore fun.
Sledding in the winter
yeah,
time.
just down the hill, anything that just like made you crack up laughing. Like this pool we went to as adults, all my siblings and I, my mom picked 2 as well. This campground, there was this like 2 slides into the pool. All of my nieces and nephews did not think this slide was as fun as me and my 4 siblings. Like I don't even know if they remember, but we were cracking up laughing. Like it was so much fun. This slide, like we were definitely past the weight limit, and I was like, whew, all right. At least all of us were, so it was fine. But oh my God, just stuff like that. Like just do stuff that's gonna just bring back that kid, like just dancing in the middle. I don't even care, like, right? Just like go with the kids and see what they would do. Like, I just feel like it's just, this card, I could talk about this one forever. It's so much fun, but that's what the card's reminding you to do. So I wonder what my mom's going to do. She picked number 2, she said on Facebook here. So, I don't know, Mom. Don't break a hip while you're doing it though. Okay. I'm just kidding. I
almost broke a hip being playful when I was a kid. WWF was the biggest thing growing up.
Oh my
it was
God.
like when it was at its commercial peak, and everybody was jumping off of picnic tables and dropping bows on kids. And I just remember one of my best friends as a kid, we were just like, we just like hurt each other so bad that we just kind of looked at each other and just burst out laughing. Like, we're a bunch of goofs, but this is so great. Like we're getting out, we were being imaginative. We were beating each other up. We were just using that power of imagination and just having fun and inventing our own world, and our own obstacles. And, it was all
like refrigerator boxes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did that, but coloring the inside of them, the refrigerator box.
No,
we cut out windows and stuff. I mean, like that's what we did.
Oh, we just like draped a bunch of blankets over chairs. Like my sister and I, like growing up, we had our little like huts, and we had our little family with our teddy bears and all that. Going back to that level of childhood.
Yeah,
back to the root.
Yeah,
like using imagination to just like shape your world.
Yeah, or just about. I know I keep getting off on tangents. So that was card number 2. So card number 3 is the harmony card. So harmony is really just kind of, I'm feeling like it's reminding you all I feel like things are just off balance. You need to find that harmony again. So whatever that means. And I feel like I was talking to Alyssa earlier about this like mind, body, spirit thing, mind, body, soul harmony. It just needs to be reconnected. So whatever that means for anyone listening, if you picked number 3. So
I didn't even pick number 3. I picked number 1, but harmony is humongous. And if I pick number 3, I feel like a lot of things right now are coming into harmony.
Yeah.
Just entering into unison.
Yeah. I feel like,
balance.
that's what I feel like. I just like the harmony card. I'm feeling it that way right now. Like I feel like it's letting people know, whoever picked it, that things are a little off, but they're like, so you need to get them back into harmony. So what was I going to say a minute ago? I don't remember, but anyway, thanks for those cards. I hope everybody liked them. So Chris and I were chatting about titles.
Oh, titles.
Yeah, we've been chatting about this for a little while now. And titles as in like what your job title is and how people relate to you after you say that, how they react to you, and how as a society it's just kind of horrible, you know, that somebody could say, yeah, I'm a janitor, and then people are just like, oh, like that's a bad thing. Or and you say, oh, I'm a doctor, and it's like, oh, well, you must be super cool, or just not cool per se, but just that that just reaction and how bad I think that is, at least.
I feel the title thing for me was something I dealt with for years in my chosen line of profession, which was waiting tables. Oh, you're a waiter? Oh, that's a dead end job. Oh, you don't get nowhere doing that. However, in my world, I mean, at the time, there was a time rather where I was like numbing myself, even going to work and just saying, oh, this is, what am I going to get out of this day? Just more money. I'm just going to go home and go to sleep and wake up and do it all over again. But once I started owning my title, I started realizing that I put a lot of energy behind this title of being a waiter and offering hospitality, and you start shaving away the stigma and you start looking at the meaning behind it, and then you essentially just start owning it. And yes, I am a waiter right now at the age of 41, and I treat people with the utmost respect, with class and with manners, and I feel like I'm really building a lot of good skill sets that a lot of people just don't have, and you see that on the other end of it. A lot of people reciprocate very good energy, and a lot of other guests will come into a restaurant and they'll just treat you like a servant. Oh, I'm going to send this back 5 times and you're going to make this the right way, and then there's some people who are just like, I'm totally cool with this and I'm not going to send it back. And, then there's the other observations I make based on, how people treat me. And I've learned to just become impervious to the onset of these stigmas and judgments. Yes, the judgments are huge.
Word.
I know. I'm like avoiding that word for some reason, but it's true.
My mother commented on Facebook and said it takes a special person to be a waiter.
Yeah, you have it. That's beautiful.
She was a waitress for a long time, and she actually told me I should not be a waitress because I'd probably kill someone.
It's not easy.
Literally, and I totally would. I know I would.
I feel like I actually
it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. And I feel like there is a gift in tuning into people very quickly to kind of gauge what kind of person you're going to be dealing with, and I feel like I can walk up to a table and within 5 seconds, I'll know exactly how I need to treat these people. And I feel like that's almost like there's an intuition there.
I was like, that's called intuition.
Yeah. See what I mean? And like, it's like a gift that you have that you don't realize until I think I've really built that over the years. I think I've spent not too much time in the service industry, but I've spent enough time in the industry where I am now waking up to the fact that all these skill sets and all these judgments and everything else has just sort of culminated into this new sense of self and confidence that I can take this to the next level, and maybe I can start serving people on a more wider scale and in a much more meaningful way. Not that serving isn't meaningful.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just feel like, we were chatting about it, and I've been I've had a lot of titles. I made a list, and it's like when I was when I was an X-ray tech, I'd say, hey, I'm an X-ray tech. And people would be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. You must make so much money and you must this. And then, then I say bartender, and they're just like, oh, cool. Like you don't have any, people literally will ask me, you don't have any, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to go to college. I was like, what is wrong with people? And when I worked at as an X-ray tech, I worked at an urgent care sort of place. So I was the, secretary, I was the medical assistant, I was the X-ray tech, people would literally come in and treat me like garbage because I was just the receptionist or just just literally would treat me like garbage. And then I would, because I'm not going to be like, yo, I'm the X-ray tech that's going to X-ray you right now, so I'm going to just forget that shield. I literally would go to get them for their X-ray, and then they would stand there and be like, you're the X-ray tech, and in my mind I'm like, oh yeah, you remember 10 minutes ago when you were a DB to me? I don't know if I can say that word on the air. when you were just mean to me, like, oh yeah, hey, welcome, here I am. It's like, yeah, maybe it just gives me this whole, it gave me this whole new, like, oh my gosh, I hope I have never just looked at a receptionist and been like, I hope I never treated somebody like that.
I feel like there's this comparison on the socioeconomic ladder that people make. And I feel like that to me is like, come on, man, like you asking me, what do I do? why don't you ask me like, what am I passionate about or something like that? Let's take this a step deeper and say, what are you passionate about versus what do you do? You asked me what I did when I first met. I was like, there's a billion things going on in my head, but I'm like, I wait tables.
I know.
And then I felt like I shriveled up a little bit. I thought a lot about that afterwards. And I'm like, why did I shrivel up? So I was really mindful of that.
It's a weird thing. So yeah, I was an X-ray tech for 12 years and I still have my license and stuff. Had a little bit of a, whatever issue with all that. So, and here I am though, much stronger than I was. But
beautiful.
And I had to. It was just going from that to what did I even do after that? I forget. I went to Freedom Cycle for a little while, and I love that place. So it was like I was finance assistant manager there, and I was a salesperson, and I was a service writer. But it's like you tell somebody you work in the finance department, and sometimes they're just like, "What?" Like, "Oh," it's just so weird how people think. And then some people were like, "Oh my God, you must be so rich," and then other people were just like, "That's just like would stare at me like, oh, you work at Freedom Cycle?"
Right.
It's like, what is? I don't understand. Like, it just, I don't know.
I think we can develop a much better and deeper dialogue if people just look past the titles. I feel like the titles are definitely essential to streamline your specialty, your expertise, or whatever your professional job is or whatever, but I do feel like titles should go a lot deeper. Like I was saying today, I'm an aspiring motivational speaker. I mean, I think a title should also sort of put you in a situation of motivation and confidence that you can provide that service. But I feel like the titles thing is it's tough because there's a lot of ego attached to titles as well. There's probably a level of uncertainty about whether or not you perform well at your certain title or not. It does give you a good gauge of what your talents and what your passions are, along with what you're effective at. I think it's good self-work to like you said, which I didn't do, which was write down all my titles.
Yeah, that's okay.
I wrote down my values, but I feel like my values are based around these services, whatever was the music to the people or hospitality or just being a good friend,
Yeah, it's silly when you think about like that job title or something like describing you or something like it's just silly when it all changes and you're like, man, what is my job? What do I even want to tell you right now?
Yeah, I don't even like to use the titles. I'm like, what am I passionate about right now? Like, just get like this title thing out of the way and let's just focus on what are we passionate about right now. And if you think about it, you can probably line up the list to be very similar to your list of titles that you wrote down.
Yeah, or just I feel like I want us having this conversation to reach out to people just to be like just to have some appreciation for people who do different jobs and to say thank you to them.
You're absolutely right.
To say like, wow, gosh, that must be a tough job. Thank you so much for doing that. Like my mother was an LNA for 20 something years and it's like, gosh, thank you. It's like the forgotten people, like the people that take care of our older generation.
Absolutely.
It's like, gosh, thank you so much. Because it takes a certain person to do that. And I could not do it.
Well,
so
my sister, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Steph.
No.
If I did. She's a hospice nurse and I kind of have built a better understanding of how she is because of her level of dealing with this type of compassion and emotion. She's built such a thick skin and she she was able to go down and be around my aunt when she was dying and I secretly was like, I don't know how you could do that. And I feel like now, wow, I feel like I should go be of service to some of these old folks and sit with them and hold their hand. And I see the beauty in it now, and it's, and I said earlier, let's look past the titles, but if not that, focus in on that title, on that person, and really appreciate what they're offering. And
I don't know, just sorry, I know we're just interrupting each other.
It's good.
Just,
we're good at
it's
that.
flowing. It's like,
good.
The other day at Hannaford, I asked the cashier how her night was going, and she literally was like, "Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Sure."
Like, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is such a sad world right now." Like in my mind, obviously, I was saying that to myself, like. Yeah, I'm just chatting with you. I took a moment out of my day and asked somebody else how their day was of a different profession of whatever. And she was a young kid and whatever else. I just, what I'm saying, just, I really want to be spreading that word to everyone. Like when I worked at the hospital, I didn't care what your profession. I had friends in every department, in everything. That's just who I am, right? Like everybody is these beautiful souls and just judging people from like for where they work and you don't know anything about their life, right? Like just trying to like bring down that judgment for people.
I've kept it real simple. kept it real. I walk up to my tables and I say, "Hi, folks. How are you this evening?"
Mm-hmm.
And not a lot of servers do that. A lot of folks walk up and say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'll be taking care of you tonight,"
Mm-hmm.
which is great. That's happening. But I want to know how you're feeling.
Yeah.
I like to know how people are feeling. And I think that's a huge thing. And I think if anything, regardless of who you are, just knowing how they're feeling and getting on that same level, it's been amazing. Like I've been like evening out with like people that I didn't think I'd like be able to like budge, you know, and by the end of the meal, they'll be like, "I like you, man." You can just see it in their eye.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. And then from that thought, it actually randomly made me think of this one time when I was working at the hospital. I had this gentleman, and everybody's in like Johnny's or whatever, right? Like when they, not everybody, but, and he's this big old burly guy and just literally looked homeless. And I was really young at this point, and I was like, oh my God, you know, just like this guy. And I was totally judging him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was like 22 or something. I don't know. And in my mind, totally judging this man. And then we started chatting, and he was like the CEO of his own company and something. I mean, like probably a very rich man. And then on that day, however many years ago, you know, like 7 or 6, because I'm only 28. I was like, wow, Steph, yeah, that's the last time that you will judge somebody by the way they look. So, you know, that was quite some time ago. And I feel like I'm still just trying to get that out there to the rest of the world to think differently maybe about people.
I almost got my second DUI about a year ago, and I was let off somehow by the cop, and he told me to go park at a gas station down the street. And when I did that, I got out of my car, and this big burly guy, big thug looking guy, walked up to me and he said, "You just got lucky, didn't you?" And this is in the middle of winter, okay? This guy took his jacket off, hung it on a post, and kept me company for 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
While I was sobering up.
Wow.
And this guy, I would avoid him at all costs on an average day.
Yeah.
And there was a warmth about that guy that just restored my faith in saying, you can never judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
This guy gave hours of his life to basically feed me all. It was interesting because he was talking about all this like prophet stuff and all this religious stuff. I was almost like, this person's being sent to me from the cosmos. I swear it was weird. And that was, I think that was a big day. And I think, and Alyssa, I talked to her about that. And I was like, yeah, man, I think something came out of the universe that I've never experienced before and gave me like this wind in my sail to say, all right, you need to be doing this. And I'm going to put you right in this person's place so this person can tell you something, even and regardless of who that person was. And it just so happened to be a very intimidating individual that warmed me up that night. He warmed me up from the inside and out. It was amazing.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's the kind of person I want to be for anybody that I come in contact with on a daily.
Man, you know,
everyone,
it would be just a magical world if that was the case. If people just took their time, you know, time is the most valuable thing we have. And to be able to offer that to somebody else, just
to be present, you know, and just say,
Absolutely.
hey, I don't care. It's like every day I hold the door open for everyone, just silly things, right? Just everything that people have forgotten, manners.
Of course.
Hold the door open. I compliment.
Small
I know I said that earlier, but I compliment everyone. At least I mean, I don't like do it like.
It's great.
I just when I feel like I want to do it, I compliment somebody. They have pretty eyes or they have beautiful nails. I don't know what it is. Just whatever comes. I say it out loud, even though like some people think it's super weird when you like compliment somebody else. But
you know,
but it's
compliments
still
can be misconstrued. You know, but at the
yeah,
same
but
time,
I feel like
some people
they're
don't wanna hear
needed.
yeah, they are. They
you
are.
know,
They
just
definitely are.
Makes people smile, and then I think of like the people that like, and we are all over the place at the moment, but in kind of in the same thing. But
it's cool.
It's the people that like, you know, have you ever heard those things like somebody smiled at them that day, and that was a day they were thinking about maybe killing themselves or something, and so just somebody smiling at them gave them this like hope. This little bit of something that triggered something that changed it, you know, like that's the kind of person I want to be, because I know that I attract. I've put that out to the universe, so I know that people just look at me, and not in a weird way. Like I know I have this like white light inside me or something, right? Like people always like just look at me, and and at least I make eye contact with a lot of people, so I'm always making sure when I do, I smile.
Eye contact is huge. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
A lot of people look away, you know, but if you can hold someone's gaze, you can learn a lot about somebody, and you really get into some deep, real talk when you are focused on that person. And if you can tell like people aren't focused on you, then, you know, maybe it's not going to be such a solid conversation or solid connection, but holding that gaze, holding that space, it's humongous. It's great.
Or even just like, the quick, like, when somebody's walking past, like, have a nice day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even if you didn't make that eye
just saying
contact,
hello to
it's just,
people
like,
when they walk by,
throwing that, or just, it's like that ripple effect of niceness.
The
like,
ripple effect.
Like,
There
I
it
know
is.
we're just going to keep
It's
going back to
great.
that.
It's awesome.
Like when I let somebody go in traffic in front of me, I feel like it's like, oh, like, or if it happens to me, I feel like I'm like, all right, yeah, paying it forward. I got to do it to somebody else.
Heck
Like
yeah,
I just,
pay it forward.
that's just what I try to do like every day, as many times as I possibly can.
It's great.
All right. So we're going to go to a quick break here. So we're going to be taking live calls. If anybody is interested, you can call in at 603-816-1590. All right. So we will go to break and I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Son, your mom and I would like to talk to you. I'm not an idiot. Your eyes are all bloodshot. I'm begging you, son, please stop smoking pot.
Last night I found more paraphernalia. Please stop doing drugs and do what I tell ya.
Okay, Mom and Dad, I'm gonna do as I should. I'm off drugs for good.
In real life, kids don't just give up drugs, so go to drugfree.org.
A message from Partnership at drugfree.org and Partnership for a Drug-Free NH.org.
Title Boxing Club is the best and only authentic full-body boxing workout that changes your body, clears your mind, and completely engages your spirit. Our signature workout utilizes the fundamentals of a true boxer's workout, including proper heavy bag training to strengthen and tone your arms, legs, back, core, stamina, and your confidence. Empowering, exhilarating, and totally addictive. This is your new favorite workout class. Visit them online at TitleBoxingClub.com or call 603-206-5608. That's 206-5608 and begin today.
Do you feel like you've been benched or sent down to the minors? Are you paying the correct amount of child support? Let a team of experts help you out. That team is Bardis Law. There is nothing more important in your life than your kids. You wouldn't cut corners for them? Don't cut corners on your legal representation. Don't show up without your starters. Going to court without an attorney is like playing without a coach, without a playbook. Let Bardis Law get you back in the huddle so we can call the play. Call Bardis Law at 603-420-8588 or visit www.bardislaw.com.
Need a new car? Come on down to Crazy Jerry's, because I'm slashing prices like crazy. Want a beige 1972 sedan? We got that. Or how about if you want a beige 1972 sedan? We got them in beige, and in beige.
You expect options everywhere else in life. Are you getting them when it comes to your medical treatment? Explore all your options and talk with your doctor about what's right for you. Knowing your options is the best option. Learn more at ahrq.gov. That's ahrq.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Welcome back, guys. You are listening to When Spirit Speaks with your host, me, Steffanie Damboise Psychic Medium. And I'm here tonight with my friend, Chris Carwellos.
Hey.
Thanks for being here, Chris.
It's great to be here.
Thank you. Cool. So we do have another live caller. Hi, Pete. Hey, Pete, you still there? Hello. I'm not quite sure where Pete went, but so if anybody would like to call in, we'll see what's going on with Pete. Maybe he's confused. All right, well, if anybody would like to call for a live reading, guess we lost Pete. It is 816-1590 for a live medium reading. So yeah, we've been chatting about a bunch of stuff tonight.
We have been all
Chris.
over the place. We have been flowing. Flow is a beautiful
Yeah,
thing.
Flowing is good. I feel like that's how I want my shows to go. That's how I want my life to go. Oh, you know what I actually wanted to bring back up? That's how my brain works. Boop, things are just popping in. You were talking about your minimalism before,
Sure.
and just you cleaned out your space and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
the next part I wanted to add on. So for me at that point, like if I had I've been getting rid of stuff in my house as well that doesn't bring me joy. We were talking about that, like
Absolutely.
things that don't bring you joy, get rid of. It's just, I feel like even as a minimalist, it's like time to, then you can actually like take a moment then to actually bring things into your house that do bring you joy.
Oh, that's exactly the purpose of all this.
Okay, yeah, because we didn't get to that part because you just talked about
Absolutely.
being clear and then your body being able to get spiritually
Right.
kind of in check.
Well, I think there's a linear process to this.
Mhm.
First you clean out the dirt, and then the green grass grows,
Mhm.
and it almost happens spontaneously. You begin to realize what truly adds value to your life, and you start inviting those things back in. And
Mhm.
you're not just clinging to things. You're actually doing some deep work and saying, wow, is this really adding value or not?
Mhm.
And in many cases, what happens is you find out exactly what is truly important to you, and what really may not be, it could be blocking
Yeah.
essentially a sense of flow in your life.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we do have another caller. All right, Nancy?
Yes, hello.
Hi, Nancy. Thanks for calling in. Nancy from Manchester, right?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. My home. All right, Nancy, I'm going to put you on a little musical hold while I call your family in here, okay?
Okay.
All right, 1 second. Okay. Sorry, Nancy, you had like 3 people jump in very quickly there. So I was like, oh man, trying to separate them. Okay, so I have a man for you.
Okay.
Oh, and do you have a pen and paper out? Are you writing it down?
I do.
Okay, perfect. So, all right, I keep hearing 80s with this gentleman. He seems rather like regal to me is the word that I'm going to say. He seems, I kind of see him sitting there like very poised is kind of the word I'm hearing. And he is like, it looks like he's playing the piano to me. Actually, we're getting some musical people tonight. Sorry, I'm just seeing what else he's saying to me. I'm almost to the point where I think that maybe he actually taught it. I kind of see that there's like a little kid like sitting next to him. Is this making any sense to you so far?
No.
That's okay. I'm just kind of go over everything that he's saying. So yeah, he is, I mean, I don't want to say typical old man, but he has this white, it's hair though, like it's white, thick hair.
Okay.
I do keep seeing this piano. I feel like it was like, and I feel like he might actually be like a great something or other, like, if not like a grandfather or great uncle. Like I feel like he's a couple generations ago kind of thing. I just feel like it's old timey, not to like be funny. And I feel like I just keep wanting to say like Christmas, like we're together and we're playing Christmas songs on the piano and just like this, I just keep feeling this joyful occasion from it.
It's losing me.
That's okay. I just tell people to write it down
Okay.
and then you will figure it out.
Okay.
Yes, he keeps saying, I keep hearing 80s. I keep hearing and I keep hearing, so I keep calling him a gentleman and he is saluting to me. So I feel like he is a military man or was a military man, which I feel like is what he got his poise from and his shoulders upright, like, why he's, because I just want to sit up really straight in my chair. So just and I just keep seeing this piano, unless he was like the little kid that was being taught the piano, but I keep going back to this piano. So that is important in this thing. And I don't know if it was just like played at like family events, like a Christmas, something, but I feel like there was something obviously with that in there. I do keep hearing a D name, like a, D as in dog or something like that. So first name that starts with a D or the last name that begins with the D. He keeps talking about like circulatory issues, and I'm kind of being drawn more toward his legs as opposed to anything else. Like specifically, I don't know if you know like arteries or anything. Specifically like femoral artery, like his leg into the and kind of just more the right side is what I keep feeling for this guy.
Okay.
Like I'm hearing like losing toes, so to the point where maybe he even like literally had to get some toes amputated.
Oh, I can't imagine anybody like that.
That's okay. Yeah, so I don't know if like that. This is why I keep feeling like I'm not sure if there's somebody, and I always tell people like I don't know if you can ask I don't ever want to put the pressure on somebody to ask somebody else, but I feel like he is, like I said, like that like second generation, so maybe you never met this man.
Okay.
Which sometimes I feel badly about that, but it's happened to me as well, and usually they just hopefully have a nice message for you. But let me get some more info so you can definitely know when somebody finds out for you. He just keeps going back, and I know I've said piano 7,000 times, but he just going back to that. I just see like candlesticks on it. I just feel like it's years ago, many years ago, sort of thing.
Okay. I'll have to check and see.
Yeah, I keep asking him like how he passed away. They only tell me what they want to anyway, so I ask them a million questions. Let me get a few more things from him. I just keep seeing him like laying in bed. I keep asking how he passed away, and I want to say like naturally, but then he's not technically saying that to me. I just see him laying in a bed, and I feel like he was there for a little while. I'm hearing like 3 weeks, or maybe it's 3 months or something, but a decent amount of time that he, like in the end there, I guess that he was just laying in the bed.
Okay.
And I feel like that same like little boy that I keep seeing like sitting next to him at this piano is at his bedside as well. So I'm not sure if that was like, one of your parents or something like that, or an uncle or something, but that is significant as well. And I do keep hearing the number 7 associated with him. So again, the number could just literally mean the number or the month of July. So birthday, death days, anniversaries.
Okay. Oh. I wish it meant more to me.
No, that's okay. He keeps going back to the military, that this thick head of white hair that he has or had, that's important because I did hear like 80s for him. So, and he is saluting to me. So the military thing, let me see. He is making my head hurt. So if my head's hurting, usually, it meant that he has something going on with his head, or you are having headaches right now, or in general.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So it has to do with something with his head then.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just ask him if he has a message for you. He's literally, and this is when I feel like this is not the best message that you'd want, but he's literally talking about getting your gutters fixed.
Doing what?
Getting your gutters fixed, like the gutters on the house, the gutters. I'm seeing the rain and gutters and like them fixed. Like, I don't know if it's just saying he's the handyman.
Oh, no. A piano playing handyman, huh?
Yeah, I feel like so this is how it works. So everything that I say usually or always makes sense. I feel like it might be like a friend of yours or something, or somebody, somebody close to you, or, like everything is going to make sense to somebody. And like, I feel like the gutters have been an issue and somebody needs to get them fixed, which I know isn't a beautiful message, but it'll be a message enough for them to be like, yep, so-and-so would have said that to me.
Oh, okay.
If they were here, if that makes sense to you.
Okay.
But let me see if he has anything more poignant. One sec. I feel like that was a more of a funny one. I feel like he's just telling me that I feel like this person the person that it's for, I guess.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I feel like the person that this is actually for is close to you. May it be,
so this could be for somebody else. Huh?
It might, yeah, because how I keep feeling it, but I still feel like it's the generational thing. I still feel like it's like either a grandfather or the great thing or the great uncle, but, yeah, and I apologize for that. I just ask for who in spirits. They sneak on in. So for some time, I was getting my ex-boyfriend's family like all the time. So I apologize. So I just heard, and I feel like it might be a man, because I keep seeing that little boy as well. I feel like this gentleman's saying to me that this little boy, who is probably a full-grown man at this point, obviously, has really been missing him. Since he's passed away, and I think that he just needs, he really needed this message or him to jump in, like he's really not doing well with his passing, to the sense that I'm trying to download and say it out loud. Like this could be, I don't want to say life changer, he's saying he's just really trying to get through to him, and that's why he jumped in so quickly for this. So again, I don't like to tell people to try to find out who this person is for.
Yeah.
I feel like spirit's pretty crafty, so they'll just get the right person to you when when they need to, or when you figure it out, and then you can show them what you've written down. They'll probably.
And you're sure it's a little boy that's with them, not a girl.
I keep seeing a boy. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not that there couldn't be girls and boys,
Right.
There probably were 10 children or something. I have no idea, but
I
do keep just seeing this one particular boy next to him.
Okay.
I mean, 8 or 9 or something, and this boy that I'm seeing, but yeah, like I said, there could be much more children, but I just feel like it's a bond, a bond that they had probably since he was little, up until now. So this is why he's been dealing with his death not so well, if that makes sense. Okay.
All
well,
right.
Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you for trying.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, guys. So welcome back. You're listening to When Spirit Speaks with me, your host, Steffanie Damboise Psychic Medium, on WSMN 1590, Nashua's source for news and talk radio. And I'm here tonight with my friend Chris Carwellos.
Hey, Steph.
Hey,
everyone.
Hi. So, yeah, I probably have time for one more reading if anybody wants to call in. 603-816-1590. I sort of feel bad sometimes when Spirit jumps in and it's just I fully, when Spirit speaks, right? I fully believe that whoever's here is for the person I have, right? So
wow,
it's such a clear image for me, and I know when she finds the person, I don't know who it is, but everything usually lines up, and I usually get emails a week later, which is what the readers listen to me, the Facebookers or the online people never get to see, but usually always I get the follow-up email hey, I figured out who that person was.
That must be so amazing when that happens.
Yeah, and I don't need my the ego thing, but yeah, I don't really need my ego whatever, but it is still nice.
Gotcha.
It's so nice to be hey.
You just know, and it's about the other
I trust
folks really.
Spirit, yeah.
Exactly.
Because even me, I've gotten read sometimes, and they were telling me that they had this person, and it took me 15 minutes one time to realize that they had my best friend's Nana.
Wow.
But I wasn't thinking my best friend's Nana would come through.
Sure.
And it actually happened to be her birthday that day, and this was a few years ago. But it was just oh my God. And then once because I wasn't thinking, they said that they had my like great aunt on my mom's side or something. So, so that was incorrect, the great aunt on my mom's side, but I could see how they would see that, because I
Sure.
try to tell people it's like, it's mediumship. We're talking to dead people. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they're just portraying it how I'm kind of hearing it and feeling it and stuff. All right. We do have another caller on the line. Hi, Diane.
Hi.
Hi, Diane. Diane from Goffstown.
Yes.
Yeah, Goffstown. Cool. So I'm gonna put you on a little musical hold here for 1 second, okay? Okay. All right, Diane. Do you have a pen and paper with you? You ready?
I do.
Okay, perfect. So I only have a few minutes left, so I'm going to try to go kind of quickly, okay, if I can.
Okay.
It's kind of difficult for me to go that quickly, but okay. So I have a gentleman for you. So actually, he's kind of a little younger. I did hear 30s for this guy. Usually when I hear 30s, I know that sounds a little silly, but it just means like sometimes it's spot on, but sometimes it's been meaning just younger man in general. So I get signs and symbols. So what I keep seeing from him though is I keep hearing basketball, and I keep seeing him throwing like a swish. He's getting the basket in, just he's throwing it and throwing it and throwing it and just going right in every time, like this perfect formation kind of basketball throw. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Like that's all I can see. I'm standing right behind. And how I know the perfect basketball throw, I'm not really quite sure, but that's how I'm feeling from it. Like, he keeps doing that. Like I keep hearing like gold and like maroon or something for the colors on this jersey or whatever, or something I'm seeing him.
Yeah.
I just, oh God, I hit the mic. I do keep hearing accident for how he passed or what led up to him passing or something like that. But that's the only word I'm getting. So unless that has nothing to do with, I just keep hearing accident. I'm going to try not to interpret what I'm hearing. I feel like accident is important nonetheless. If it's not exactly how he passed, I feel like it's something that would. Does that mean anything to you?
Yes.
Okay. So I heard the number 4 with this guy. So usually when I hear numbers, literally coming for kids, or the month of April. So birthdays, death days, anniversaries, either his or yours, or somebody around. But then as I said 4, I heard like 4-leaf clover at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Like I heard them kind of like together. So just wanted to, and then the clover I'm kind of seeing like as like a picture or a tattoo or something, or like some sort of artwork. It might be a 3-leaf clover, but it's like a clover nonetheless that I keep seeing, like a very vibrant.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure about that, but I'll
That's
definitely
okay.
think that over.
Mm-hmm. He's referencing like a camp or like a basketball scholarship or something like that. I don't know if it's in his name or maybe he's saying he wants one, but it's like I just keep hearing a camp or and I feel like it's for like younger, I want to say boys, but I guess it could be kids. But I did hear boys.
Okay.
And then I keep hearing a K name. I heard Kevin. So a man with a K name or a last name that starts with a K, kind of associated with this person.
Okay.
If it's not his name. Can always be somebody living that he's kind of getting you to. Oh, I keep hearing that K, so that's important. I keep hearing like goofball and like, and I just want to smile thinking about him. You know, it's just like just keep hearing like jokester, goofball.
This sounds like one of my son's friends.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but it's coming to me a little bit.
Okay.
To put this together.
Okay, sure. Yeah, thank you. I know I say sometimes it's tough to know who I have, but I truly trust that Spirit is giving me the right person.
Yeah, it sounds very, very familiar. I'm going to call him when I hang up.
Okay. Okay. Let me get a few more things for you then.
Okay.
This kid, like, I feel like he's, and I know I've brought up basketball 100 times, but obviously something important to him. He's like the jokester, the whatever. He's pulling the basketball away from me, kind of thing, like kind of body checking me and pulling the ball and throwing it up to the hoop, and then it comes off and like, you know, nails one of us in the head or something. It just like there's just like this hilarity ensuing in all of this stuff, you know, like just we're having a good old time, but then we're laughing at ourselves and having fun with it. And I feel like how that memory that he's sharing with me is, I feel like one in particular day that probably, you know, however many of them were playing like pickup ball or something, right? Like, you know, 6 of them or however many they had on the team. I feel like it's a day that they all remember as vividly as this person, you know, like
wonderful.
That's how he keeps saying it to me. I don't know, like I keep hearing like Indian summer or something like that, you know, just one of those just beautiful, I don't know, just fun time sort of thing. So, and I feel like as he says that to me, it's kind of just like, remember that, that moment, you know, like remember me as that or something, you know? So I keep hearing that tattoo thing. So I'm not sure if like more of these guys got something in memory of him or something to that effect. And I'm not sure if that's what the clover was for, but, I keep kind of seeing them all like with their, like I'm seeing people put out their wrists and put out like on their forearms, you know, like all of them together, like they all got something or something to that effect. I'm not sure if that's correct, but that's how I'm seeing it. Like they're all putting their forearms out, like some brotherhood, something or other, or I don't know, you know, but something to that effect. Like, but like in a remembrance of him, or just like of life, you know, like because that really rocks you, you know, when somebody passes away, especially when they're that young.
This is sounding more like my daughter's friend, I think.
Oh gosh,
and it's a K, Kenny.
Oh, okay, perfect.
It could be that. Oh,
okay.
Wow.
Okay, cool. Usually, that's what I'm saying. People usually figure it out. So, he just keeps, so the double thing, I know, I just keep bringing up basketball, but his part of his message is to also, you know, remember that moment when they were all playing ball or whatever, and then also to play ball again, sort of thing. Like, I don't know if she's played in a while, or if she, you know, if she does, or if, you know, people, he, she, whomever, you know, they haven't, because it reminds, you know, them of that person or something. It's just, he's like, get out there and like play, you know, have that fun again, like be free and just enjoy, you know, sort of thing. He's even like get a I don't even know if anybody has a basketball anymore. He's showing me like a new basketball, you know, so like to go buy a new one if that's what they need to do to get out there and do this, but but anyway, all right, I'm almost out of time here, but I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
You too.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye. All right. Yeah. So we're almost done here, Chris. Like 2 minutes left.
This has been a great and magical experience today.
Yeah. Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. It's nice to have somebody with some nice, you know, energy on. I mean, actually, all my people have been that way, actually.
Well, leading up to this night, man, we have had some awesome exchanges.
Yes.
And I think that was almost like we could talk about 1,000,001 things more than we've discussed this evening.
Yeah. And one on my list that I didn't talk about, but what was just, I mean, I think I brought it up for like a hot minute, but soul connections, you know, just finding these people to chat with. We've been audio clipping. It's my new thing. Or jamming it out. Like,
hit that microphone button on Messenger.
Yeah.
It'll change your life.
Audio clip everyone. It's just the best. I love hearing people's voices and the amped and the, it's powerful, you know, hearing your friends just so excited and then just kind of bring something to your day. Like, like at the point I was like seeing your face and I was like, oh man, I can't, like, you know, like your little messenger face. I was like, yeah, wait to see what this or hear what this says. It was just making me crack up. But Anyway, thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Steffanie, it was an honor to be here, and it's so nice that we crossed paths. It's just adds so
Most
much more depth to my life.
Yeah, awesome.
It's
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Definitely.
Thank you, everyone, for listening this week for episode 6 of When Spirit Speaks. And I will be back next Monday night from 8 to 10. Have a great night, everyone.
Take care.
You're listening to 1590 WSMN Nashua.